All right, so here we are at 8723 Cuttermill. There's no for sale sign out here yet, so some teenager just gave me some major side eye. But the good news is there's at least one kid in the neighborhood. If we scroll around here a little bit, you can see beautiful street. This is really an iconic West Springfield street and neighborhood here. And oh, there's one for sale right up the street too. So, but here we go. So nice split level right there. This is a beautiful colonial. This is a pretty cool floor plan. I've been in a couple of these. We'll head in a second. Let's take a look at the backyard. Give me one second. All right, so apparently this one has an alarm on the inside, and I have to stick to my appointment time because they're deactivating it remotely. So we'll do a quick peek around the back here, and then I'll go inside for my showing. Normally there's a bit more flexibility, but I want to, of course, respect what they've asked. So, it's really nice in the carport here in the shade. So side door, electrical stuff, you know, boring stuff here. Here's some storage here. So this home is still occupied, so, you know, I'm not going to like rifle through closets like I normally would, but you can get a feel for how big this storage unit is here. I would say that's probably 6 to 8 feet deep and probably 12 feet wide, give or take. That's a pretty wide, those are big doors. So for what that's worth. And then there's this playground right here. There's a wooded backyard. No fence on this lot, but it is stunning. It's a really pretty lot. We have the downspouts directing water away from the foundation of the shed. So that's good to see. If they did it for the shed, they probably did it for the house. Very cool. Back here, you can see the condenser doesn't look super old down there. You have a patio. So, you know, the trade-off on this one is that you have a sliding door to nowhere. So, that's not something I see every day. But, you know, you could build a deck in the future or just, you know, keep that closed. That the other ones I've seen of this one have had a deck built. So that is, you know, you could save up for that. It would be a great place for a deck, but you do have a patio in the short term. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and try and get in the house without getting the police called. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we just walked in the house. Here is the front door. And we have a beautiful entryway here. The hardwood floors, they look like they're in really good condition. They're not super shiny, which is nice. We have a staircase going up here, and we have the entryway. And the owner is here, so you might see him in the background, but he's really nice. So, entryway closet, very lovely up there. And then here, we'll start here in this room right here. Oh, they have the built-in shutters. These are really cool. Usually they kind of open too, so if you want the full light to come in, you can. Beautiful bookcases, built-ins around there, a little desk area. Fireplace, looks like a wood-burning fireplace. That'll be in the listing. I hadn't looked. It's gas, never mind. Okay, gas fireplace. Usually I look at the listing first, but since this was kind of a last minute request, just kind of ran over. Yeah, beautiful area in here. So you can see there's enough space between here and the TV, if you wanted to keep the TV in here. So let's see, let's head. So here's the kitchen, and we'll head there in just a second. Let's peek back here. Powder room. All right. Very nice. This is a nice ceramic tile down here. And this wood floor is throughout most of the main level. So I'll let you know. We have another ceramic tile in here, and this would be the utility space. And then this is what we'd access from the carport. So washer dryer, some cabinets. There is a light in here. It's not on right now, but there is one. And so if you came in this way, you know, you could put some kind of shoe storage or something like that right here. Okay, so we will head into the kitchen. And we have a fridge, countertops. Let's see, let me get a wider shot for you. All right, beautiful cabinets. They're a nice kind of medium brown. They're not red. Some of those browns are red, but these are a nice classic timeless brown, if you will. Stone counters, 2-bay sink, which is nice. It overlooks the gorgeous backyard. And cool backsplash. They're like little mini subway tiles. I'm sure they're fancier than that. That's what they remind me of. And you have this feels like a ceramic tile in here.
It's called Dura Ceramic.
Dura Ceramic. Oh, so it might be more of a vinyl. It's pretty cool. So we have an island here with some seating. So this gentleman has 3 bar stools, which seems to fit pretty well. I know you've got 4 little ones, but I bet you could squeeze in another one there. And then, you know, we'd want to keep this door closed unless you put on a deck. But it lets in a ton of light, so that's beautiful. And actually, without that being a door, you can use this bar a little bit better because it's not a path of travel out the door. So here's the dining space. Very nice. You could easily accommodate a larger table in here. I know you need a table for 6. You could go a foot this way and at least a foot this way without cutting through here. So great space in here, and you have plenty of room to make it a little bit bigger. Pretty shutters. All right, here is probably the formal living room, I think is what they call this in a colonial. So all the windows have the window treatment, which can really help keep the heat out in the summer, like today when it's 1,000 degrees. So this is carpeted in here. The carpet's in pretty good shape. There's a couple spots on it. You know, this is a used house, not a new house, so you're going to have a few things here and there. But it's very soft and plush, and it's not gross or stained. I don't smell any animals or anything, you know, untoward. So here, let's take a look upstairs, and then we'll look at those things you asked about in the kitchen in just a second here. The wood is carried up the stairs. These are beautifully finished. They will go up here. Okay, so at the top here, there's a hallway that goes to the left, and we're going to go right first. So this looks like the primary. That is a king-size bed. As you can see, there's plenty of room for nightstands on both sides. You have these 2 beautiful windows here. And, you know, the gentleman has a nice big dresser, and you have this kind of little extra section back here that you could do whatever. There is a ceiling fan. Primary closet. We'll just take a quick peek so you can see how big it is. This is huge, especially for an older house. That's a lovely closet. So primary bath is right here. Very nice. This has been beautifully updated. This is a lovely gray tile, gray vanity, quartz countertop, light fixtures. Yeah, this is really pretty. Shower. Very cool shower. I love the tiles he chose. I'm gonna take a picture of that on my way out because I gotta do a new shower in my house, and I like that shower. So great glass door, beautiful bathroom. All right, so we'll leave the primary and we will head out here. This is hardwoods in the hallway here, and then the bedrooms are carpeted. So the first one, we have this front bedroom here, excuse me. It is painted a blue. It could use a repaint. The paint is, I would say the house is in very nice condition. The paint in this room is in less nice condition, but paint is cheap and easy. Nice storage closet here. Maybe some sentimental items from the owner. Okay, so, and they've got the nice 6-panel doors here. So that's a nice upgrade. They don't have the boring slab doors. The 6-panel doors are pretty. All right, standard linen closet. It's got some, you know, vinyl on the shelves, but that's a pretty good size linen closet. You could definitely keep towels for 6 in there. Hallway bathroom, again, beautifully updated. Fan works. So here is the cabinet. It's kind of it looks kind of green. It might be kind of gray. Honestly, the way the light is, it's hard to know. I think it's, yeah, it's kind of like a sage green. It's a gray green. Beautiful quartz counter. You got that big cabinet here. Nice tiles. Yes. Oh, and this is like the same tile on the other one, just slightly darker. So there's a bathtub here in case you little guys like to take baths, or little girls, or anyone, you know, likes to take baths. You do have a bathtub in this bathroom here, which is, again, beautifully updated. All right, so the other 2 bedrooms are on this other kind of wing where we have cute little kind of desk work area built in there. There's even a light switch down there. I'm not sure what that will be for, but there is a fan in this one and a nice closet with some built-in shelving here. So that's really great. All right. And let's see, the last bedroom. This is another front bedroom. So, oh, very nice up here. We have it with some bunk beds, but you can see that that's a pretty big bunk bed, and it's not even against the wall, and there's still a lot of room in here. So they have a desk kind of built in there, which is nice. You could build in another one there, you know, if you 2 kids sharing this room. The 2 closets is great. We'll open one of them. They'll be the same. So, so these bedrooms have a lot of closet storage. All right, so let's head down. And all right, so we had the 2 bedrooms on this side, kind of these corner bedrooms here. Here's the hallway bath. And then you have this other front bedroom here. And then the primary was here. So 4 bedrooms upstairs, 2 full baths. Both baths have been updated very nicely. We'll head down the stairs. And then, okay, so here's the entryway, living room, family room, or den, you know, coat closet. Okay, so we saw the powder room. Let's check out the basement. Where is that? Over here, I think. Okay, so a glass door to the basement, which is really cool. I think this was the door you asked about. Or maybe it was these doors. These doors are pantry doors. So,
The size of the pantry.
oh, let's see the size of the pantry. I bet it's really
Size.
nice. Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah, lots of different things you could store in there.
And it's pretty much open.
Okay, yeah. Seasoning, Costco boxes, you know, fruit snacks, whatever your kids are into. This one has the really nice pull-out shelves. So for your rice and stuff, pull them out. Very lovely. And then, yeah, the kitchen it's a beautiful kitchen. I'm going to poke downstairs real quick. This is a cool glass door because it'll let in a little bit of light. And I'm going to close it behind me just because he had it closed. But we have carpet on the stairs here. And it's really soft and squishy. It's really nice. So we'll come down here. Okay, so we could go left, which we're going to go left first. And if you go left, you see this little, there's probably more lights on here. Let me see. Okay, I turned on the lights. It's a little weird with the owner here. But, oh, storage closet underneath the stairs. So he's got some suitcases in there. That's not like a ton of storage, but there is some storage in there. Here is, okay, so there's a fair amount of storage in here. Oh, this is a cool floor. This feels like a laminate. You have some shelving here. So, wow, that is a lot of blended grout. Sanded grout. That's a lot of grout. I'm not sure why you'd ever have that much grout, but that's a lot of grout. And then in here, oh, some more shelves. Okay, so this is kind of where he keeps his backup pantry, which is cool. Oh, shoot, the door's closed one way. Okay. So space on here, space in here, extra fridge, space in here. Yeah, this is a great space down here. And then this is probably a bedroom. Yes, lovely bedroom. Let's turn the light on. That isn't like an egress window, so this is a bedroom. You know, your child could get out in case of a fire. So that's probably an electrical panel over there. Here we have a bathroom. So full bathroom, you have the toilet, double vanity down here, really nice. This shower in here. There is a light in there, so let me see if I can turn it on. Oh. So very cool, very nice. There's a seat, a niche. It's beautifully tiled. I can see that the drain is set lower than the floor, which means it was tiled correctly, which is not always the case. We have some storage in here. So this would be kind of like lower linen closet, bathroom storage. I know it got a little dark in here. Sorry. Oh, utility sink. So that's kind of cool. We haven't found the washer and dryer yet. I'm gonna keep looking. It's probably down here. So again, you know, this bathroom, and you can kind of walk through. So it's neat how you have the bedroom and then you'd walk through the bathroom, and then you get into this area here, which has a walkout to outside. And here are the water heater and the furnace. The furnace looks pretty new. That's of course, you know, a question for the inspector, not for me, but it does look pretty new. Water heater looks pretty good. Look super clean in there. Obviously been well maintained. And then you have this lower kind of den family room area. You get a little bit of windows in there. And then this is a pretty big space. So you could have 2 zones in here for sure. If you wanted to, they have the TV here, and you could have, you know, something here, pool table, ping pong table, you know, whatever you're into. An additional kind of like little kitchenette down here, which is nice if you have a long-term guest or, all right, so here is a closet. Nice deep closet. That's a really deep closet. Okay, so we came down the stairs, and so we went left, and then we went right, and I feel like, yeah, Okay. Yeah, that was the storage closet. Did we find the washer and dryer? I feel like maybe we didn't. I'm gonna ask him where that is. Did I just like miss it? Oh, okay. Well, this bedroom down here, I totally didn't even notice, has a big walk-in closet. So that's deluxe. That's very nice. And let me head back upstairs. And I've seen so many houses today, I can't even remember if we saw the washer and dryer or not. But I'll ask the gentleman upstairs and hang tight.